Hello there and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the new DJI Phantom 4 Pro version 2.0. Last week DJI released the version 2 of the Phantom 4. Whilst everyone might have been expecting a Phantom 5, to be honest I never really thought that was on the cards. What they have done is done some updates on the Phantom 4 Pro, and actually they're quite good, especially if you are looking to buy one. So what are the differences between the two models? Well, it's mostly two things specifically. Number one, they have changed the wireless system that the aircraft uses. Whilst the P4 and the P4Pro used to use Lightbridge, they've now moved over to using OcuSync, and there are some big benefits to that, and the biggest is that it now properly supports the DJI goggles and the Goggles Race Edition wirelessly. If you wanted to use your goggles with any aircraft apart from the Mavic Pro, you had to use the USB cable, because the Mavic supported it wirelessly via OcuSync, but everything else it needed to use the USB, and that came along with a few quirks. And the first was that you couldn't use your smart device and your goggles at the same time. You had to swap from one to the other. You then also had the 30 meter 50 meter limitation thing, and there were a couple of other quirks as well, like not all of the features were exactly the same. However, because DJI have moved the P4 Pro version 2 over to OcuSync, it now means you can use it wirelessly, and it means you can use both your smart device and the goggles at the same time. This is an updated version of the OcuSync system too, and it supports both 2.4 and 5 GHz, and that is exactly the same as the Air system uses, so it means you do still have the option of using the dual frequencies, unlike the Mavic Pro, which is still stuck on 2.4. Looking at the differences between OcuSync and Lightbridge, well, to the end user there isn't really a lot. It is still a high definition 720p feed. It is still capable of exactly the same range as it was before whilst using Lightbridge, so there really is not any downsides. The upsides are you get to use your goggles wirelessly, and it does give a slightly better improved stable link. The only other thing is, because it is the OcuSync wireless system, it means that it isn't backwards compatible with the old Phantom 4 V1. So if you are going to try and swap a V1 and a V2 aircraft or remote round, it won't actually work. The V2 will only work with the new V2 remote controller. The other changes I mentioned was that they've improved the propellers and the ESCs. It now is exactly the same as they did on the Platinum edition of the Mavic Pro, and it uses FOC ESCs with these new props, which basically give it a little bit more efficiency and make it quieter in flight. Other than those two things, the overall aircraft is exactly the same, and it still has the same 1-inch sensor, 20 megapixel camera with the H.264 and H.265 recording at 100 megabytes per second. The remote controller has been updated slightly to allow it to use OcuSync, but it is still also available in both the standard version and the Plus version with the integrated 5-inch 1000 nit screen as well. If you were looking to upgrade from a Phantom 4 Pro to a Pro V2, it's probably not worth it unless you absolutely want wireless goggle support. However, if you are a Phantom 4 user or a Phantom 3 user, the Phantom 4 Pro is definitely the one to go for. The V2, if you are going to get one of these models, because of the wireless support with OcuSync, it just means that you're getting a bit more bang for buck. Overall, it's quite a nice little update, and whilst most users think it doesn't really seem to be a lot, if you're in the market for one, the V2 is definitely the one to go for. Price wise, it's $1,499 for the standard version and $1,799 for the Plus version that includes the 5-inch 1000 nit screen. Finally, a few things to be aware of is the propellers are compatible with the Phantom 4, and whilst they may give a slight reduction in noise, you're not going to see the same level of benefit that you would get from using it with the new ESCs. It's available from DJI as well as other retailers, and if you would like to support the channel, there are some links in the description of this video where you can get more info or order your Phantom 4 Pro V2. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope I've been able to describe just the changes and give you guys a little bit of information. Please do subscribe to the channel, and I'll do another one again soon.